Hello, Scrappy Peeps. Suzanna here today for a cherry on top, and this is our monthly YouTube hop. So welcome to the March hop, and that was the layout that I was sharing with you. So this month's theme is favorite embellishment. Well, I don't have a favorite embellishment. I have several, so I've pulled out alpha stickers, Distress Oxide inks, 6x6 paper pad, and then I always buy the die cuts. So I also have their labels and tags for a manual die cut machine because I am not loyal to any particular embellishment. I like them all. And that's what I was trying to show you with the Distress Oxides there. So I'm going to create with all of those goodies. I have a large photo as well as a second one, and then a white paper background. Those are all of my favorites. So I'm going to use two of the pieces from the 6x6 paper pad. I like the way the colors complement the colors that are in the photo. And then I'm going to create a little bit of a collage per se using some of these other elements. So I always use tags, almost always use tags and labels on my layout, and so I am going to create those using these dies. Unfortunately, they are no longer available from a cherry on top, but I did get them from there. What I like about these is that you can create your own custom color. Try that again, Susanna. And so I am using old paper for that lighter green. Evergreen bough is sort of that more bluey green, and then dried marigold for that more orangey sort of yellow color. So between the two tags and that large label there, I used to brayer ink onto it, but I found that it's super easy just to wipe the ink pad over it too. You get a lot more color, and yes, you get a lot more distress, but that's the point of these labels, is that you actually get distress and tags, is you get more of a distressed look. And I like that, especially on my white paper. So I am going to somehow incorporate those into the layout. There really is minimal embellishment because the pattern paper with those flowers really give a lot more embellishment to the page. With the labels, you also have these reinforcers, hole reinforcers, and so I'm going to use a few of the other colors. So this paper pad is Roses and Lace from Catherine Pooler, and so I am mixing manufacturers here. I've got Catherine Pooler as well as two different collections from Pink Fresh Studio. So two of their newer ones, Chrysanthemum, and I can never remember the name of the other one. It's not Spring Vibes. It's something to do with flowers. Yeah, I don't know. It's, hold on. It is Flower Market. There we go. So I am going to, it's sort of a grid that's not a grid, the way that I've got everything sort of skewed around. I have cut out the covered up parts of these pieces of pattern paper. You will notice that this is probably the third layout that I've created with this pattern paper. I've used it quite a bit, and I can foresee you using it as well in my memory planner, because those are one of the header colors in my 6-month planner. So I will get a lot of use out of this particular 6x6 paper pad. It's interesting, we had a discussion about 6x6 paper pads. I like them, and one of the reasons I always buy them is because I actually like the smaller design. It gives me more flexibility for use both on layouts as well as in my memory planner. So I'm just trying to find a pleasing arrangement of these, and you know, I move away from this, from having them stacked as they are, but I kind of wish I had stuck with it. Unfortunately, I've journaled in the tags, and I didn't realize how much I liked this until I edited the video. And I could redo the layout, but it's done, and there's nothing wrong with the way the finished layout ends up being. I just kind of like the weight distribution of having those three white spaces stacked over each other, as opposed to I'm just going to go with zigzagged through the layout, and you'll see what I mean there. So I really liked that vellum piece from Happy Day, but I end up taking it out because I have a long title. So I have 4 different alphas. I have got 3 that I've pulled aside, and I know I want to get a 4th one. So I didn't really want that Happy Day. It didn't work with the phrase. And the way I've got the phrase dispersed throughout the layout, it was just going to add too much confusing verbiage to my super long title. So that's why I ended up getting rid of it, even though I really like it on the page. So these are chipboard flares from the Chrysanthemum collection from Pink Fresh, and I'm using them just for dispersing some color. You can see I've got a lot of right angles on this layout, but the pot that the plants are in, the succulents are in, is round. And so I like the way that the round elements complement the pot and kind of draw more to that center focus piece of the layout there. So I do end up using that vellum, gold vellum flower, and then I think it's off camera, actually pull out one of the sort of pinky colors to pull in just a little bit more pink into the layout there. So I move these tags because I feel like I've got a lot of dead space, and this then creates more filling of that dead space. You know I like white space, and you know that I will do what I can to preserve white space, but this was dead space, not white space. So you'll see me flash 3 fingers. I felt like I needed a trio of those circles, and so that I incorporate a 3rd one into the page. I actually don't like where it is. It doesn't feel like it's an integrated part of the design. It's there just to have a 3rd one and not integrated. So I will move that over to where those gold flowers are right now, and then I will move those gold flowers down there where I'm working. But I will keep that circle there. So I do have my trio that creates a visual triangle. Let's see, what else? So you can see that I have a piece of paper that is my uniting color scheme, and that is the one on the bottom right with the flowers. I always incorporate that into my design, and then I am continuing to figure out where I do a lot of shuffling on this particular layout. I think because it didn't come together, it's kind of weird creating based on. It's weird for me to create based on embellishments, because usually my embellishments are support characters, whereas I feel like with this as the theme, they are the main characters, but they're not the main characters. So where they're supposed to be support characters, they kind of they feel forced. I did try and pull things together that match, but this is not how I would normally create. This is to fulfill the using my favorite embellishments topic. So the title of this layout is literally a quote. So we walked into this room at the conservatory in Pittsburgh, and Mia had the biggest grin on her face, and she said, "Here we go. This is my dream pot." So this pot of succulents is her ideal version of how succulents should be. She grows them in her room with grow lights because she doesn't have a lot of natural light up where she is. And she knows that this will never, ever, ever survive in her room, but it is still her ideal pot, her dream pot. And so that's what the title is going to say. Here we go. This is my dream pot. So I have you'll see me, I'm going to flash through. You don't need to see me laboriously stick and restick and remove for lining up. We call this the Suzanna title shuffle. You don't need to see me go through all of that, but I will show you the primary letters. I'm not in love with this yellow, and it meant that I had to pull out some yellow from the pattern paper, which I do like the yellow in there. I just think it's a little bit busy on that pattern paper, or that pattern paper is a little bit busy for the title, but I do leave it because it's hard to see here where I'm creating, but it's actually much more visible on my layout, and you'll see that in the close-ups. So this is a YouTube hop. This is, I am hopping with my fellow designers from Cherry on Top. So be sure to head over to all of the other designers in the description box down below and leave a comment in order to be able to be eligible to win a gift card to the Cherry on Top shop. I will list all of the designers down below. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you are doing well. Come back again soon. Take care.